Hey folks, Brush Hippie here with you today, and we will call this part 2 of my making black powder video. Last time I went through everything it would take to do it, and this time I will spare you the tedium of watching me measure out my chemicals. We'll go through it again and we'll screen some out and I'll show you what it looks like, and at the end of it we'll do a test on it and see how fast it is. So, alright, what we're going to start with, this is the rig that I use to measure with, and I've said before that a digital scale would be great. I just ain't spent the money on one. This works fine for me. My powder's really fast, so why spend the money? So it just takes me a lot longer to do it because I can only do it 15 grams at a time, so no big deal. Anyway, so I measure my powder, my ingredients out, potassium nitrate. The batch that I do is, I call it a double batch, but it's just about the right size for the tumbler that I have. And that's 150 grams of potassium nitrate, and then 30 grams of charcoal, and 20 grams of sulfur. And at the end of it, after I've ground it, I will add my 5% dextrin. Okay, once we've combined everything in the tumbler, all the chemicals together with lead round balls, don't use anything in here that can spark. Don't put steel balls of any kind inside this thing or it's a bomb. So once I've got my chemicals in there, I close it up and we put it on the tumbler, and we'll come back after that. Alright, this is ground for 6 hours. Once it was done, I took my 7.5 grams of dextrin and added to it, and then I put it back in the ball mill for about 20 minutes. That's how I mix mine up now. Fly suggests that you don't do that, but I find that it mixes better like that, so mix it in a bag or mix it in here, but you don't want to put it in there and grind it with your chemicals. So wait till after the 6 hours and then grind it, put it in there and then let it grind for 15 or 20 minutes. Alright, I guess I better put my gloves on for this part. You want to always wear gloves. As you can see, this charcoal will get all over everything. I probably got it on my face. It would not surprise me. So put our dadgum gloves on here. And once again, like I said, this stuff is super light. It's like flour. So when you open this thing up, you want to be careful. You don't want to breathe this in because you'll taste it for days, believe me. Alright, put it out on here, separate the balls from the powder. And I just do this because it's easy and I'm kind of a lazy dog. Just roll them back and forth, stuff falls right out. And there we go. There's the round balls, we'll put them back. And we're done with that screen for right now. Get this out of the way. This is what I use to mix in my moisture. And today we're going to use water. I've been using alcohol, which I can't tell that it's any faster really, and I'm not in that big a hurry anyway. So we're going to use water. And what we're going to do to get this thing going is we're going to mist this and kind of turning it in just like that. We want just enough moisture to where it'll ball up, but we don't want it too moist. Because if you get it too moist, then it balls up underneath the screen, and your potassium nitrate tends to turn back to crystal form, which is not good. It's a pain in the butt. It just turns into like a rock. So it's hard to clean up, and I mean, I don't think it really hurts the powder because once it dries out, it's still powder. But anyway, see how we're starting to lump up. I guess you can see that. We're hoping. It's still kind of dry yet. I'm kind of trying to hurry, which I shouldn't be, I guess. Get that in there. See, it's still a little bit dry, but it's getting there. You know, it's not raising a dust. You can tell it's starting to get there, and this is getting close. That's pretty close, really. I think. Let's try here. Well, it's still a little bit dry. We'll try it. Alright, you want this stuff obviously where it'll ball up. You might put a little bit. It's a little dry yet, I think. We'll put a little bit more water in it. And you can steal one of these trays from any cafeteria. Don't steal anything. Don't do it. Alright. I think we're really close. I think that'll screen just fine. Alright. So I'm going to do this. Actually, what I've got to do is swap this back to this tray right here. Because I'm going to screen it onto this tray. This is my screening tray. Put me some newspaper in there. Put another layer. It's got some holes in it. Something like that. Take my screening tray. Put it right over top of it just like that. Alright, now I take my powder. I smash it into balls like that and start working it through. And that's kind of in the way. You don't want it to fall. Just like that. And this is 16 mesh screen, which means that there's 16 holes per inch. You have almost got it too wet. Almost, but it's pretty close to right. Almost got it too wet. If it's too wet, it will not be fun. But it ain't. So, work that through. All the way around. I try to do it over the entire surface so I don't have a big stack of it here or there. Can pick up my card. This card's really handy for. Tell you what else would be handy is those tools for spreading Bondo. That'd work pretty well too. Plastic tool. Okay, dress this through here. See, it's just a touch wet right there. See how that clogged my screen up? But it'll be fine. Last bit of it here. Okay, work it all through. Okay. Alright, I've got, for the most part, got it out of the screen. And here's our screen powder. And it looks pretty good to me. Alright, we got the powder screen. Now I take this stuff in the house and put it in there because the air conditioner helps draw the moisture out of it, but anywhere where the humidity is below 30% should work fine. So wherever you store it or work with it, be safe. Don't burn your house down. But it's no more dangerous than anything else. That being said, so let me put this stuff up and we'll do a quick test on how fast this stuff turned out to be. Alright, well, we screened the stuff, and now we're going to do us a quick test on the speed of this stuff. And what I got here is, this is actually the first batch of powder I ever made. So I'm going to show you the difference in the powders. Let's get that out of the way for right now. Just in the difference in speed. Like Fly says, it's just like cooking. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So, they say that the test, how you test this stuff for speed is, I just put some out here, 3 or 4 inches long, something like that. Try to make that kind of neat looking, about halfway anyway. And we'll light it up and see how fast it is. Don't try this at home. All right, that's pretty slow. And that was my very first batch. I was still proud of it because it works. So, and here we go. We'll try the stuff I made yesterday. You see, I hadn't even gotten the big chunks out of it. Actually, these are just held together from the screening process. They're all the same size pieces. They're just not broken down. That ought to be God's plenty. Alright, that's actually a little bit smaller even, probably. But check this out. Now that's what we're looking for. That's pretty fast. Alright, so that's the deal. Give it a try. It's actually pretty inexpensive. It's fun to do, obviously. Just even testing it's a ball. It's even more fun to shoot through my guns, which is the whole point anyway. So, well, that's it. Until next time, you can catch me at gunslingersgulch.com. I'm the Brush Hippie. We'll see you.